Arsenal's tour of the USA is over after the intense match in Philly where slots Liverpool edged Arteta's Arsenal. There was quite a bit that we learned. So today let's break down the big changes in Mikel Arteta's midfield, find out the breaking news regarding Arsenal's newest agreement, discuss if Eddie Nketiah is on his way to Marseille, and reveal who is the winger that Arsenal could be signing. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Baz14, welcome back to your boys channel and I hope you guys are doing sensational in my final video in the USA. The tour is over and we've got so much to break down. So as per, smash a like on the video if you enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Because if you aren't aware, we are on the road to 300,000 subscribers. But starting off with what we learnt from Arsenal 1 Liverpool 2. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal versus Arne Slot's Liverpool in Philadelphia. A packed out Lincoln Financial Field. The Arsenal lineup was interesting. A strong, experienced 11. A return for Gabriel. Havertz starting in midfield. But where was new boy Ricardo Calafiori? Despite being at the ground and with the matchday squad, Mikel Arteta said we had to manage him. He's had a very busy 48 hours before he took his flight and joined us here. Then it was jet lag. It's a lot of things. He hasn't trained with the team yet and we want to build him up slowly. To get to know him first, we have plenty of time to see him. Your boy was lucky enough to actually meet him after the game, and one thing I can say straight away is he's an absolute unit. Here he was during the game alongside Yuri and Timber, another player not involved despite being fully fit. As Kaya Kanak confirmed before the game, Timber is not with the squad because he's being rested following his comeback from a long-term injury. But focusing on the game itself, let's just say it was a battle, with the XG being very even, Arsenal having 60% of the ball, 48 final third entries and a whopping 3.2 expected threat created. Filto FC is back for another season, this game with a whopping 68%, but the most important stat was in Liverpool's favour, and that being the scoreline. Arsenal might have had more possession and more domination, but as Mikel Arteta says, they scored their first chance. We have to improve to punish teams better. A game that Arsenal wins, for me there was one player that caught me by surprise. Kai Havertz starting in midfield. Before the game there were so many concerns. Having seen him thrive as a striker last year, why is he starting in midfield again? But this is a different Kai Havertz, dropping a 7.5 rating starting in midfield. A heat map showing that he put in a real shift all over the pitch. 1 goal scored, 20 accurate passes, 1 accurate long ball, alongside 2 ground duels won and 1 aerial duel. The real change for me comes in terms of aggression. A year after signing with more confidence and more self-belief, Havertz is far more assertive. That's why even when he plays midfield, when he's got the ball he's trying to make things happen. The goal he scored could be a glimpse into the future. If Arsenal's long-term plan is to sign a brand new striker, having Havertz play off him as a secondary striker, float around the box and find space, his naturally elite movement means he's going to score a lot of goals. Mikel says it was good to see him score a goal. He only had 4 training sessions and then he had to play in these conditions. But he's come in good shape. He prepared himself before he joined us and he looks good. But one play that wasn't that good for me was Thomas Partey. Despite still having his on-the-ball quality, progressive as ever in his passing, we have to talk about his physical decline. Suffering all of last year via injuries, reaching now 31 years of age. Playing as a number 6 for Arsenal is so demanding physically. So much space to cover and so much responsibility. But partnering again with Declan Rice, a player able to make up for the physicality. If able to stay fit, I think Partey's passing range is still going to come very handy. But what about the inverted fullback? No, not Alexander Zinchenko, who we know struggled against Mo Salah, but the one that came on in the second half, Miles Lewis-Skelly, dropping a 6.7 rating in only 20 minutes played, 12 accurate passes and 2 out of 2 ground duels won. This for me was almost confirmation. Despite excelling as a midfielder for the Arsenal Academy, having all the tools to be a top number 8, as reported by Isan Khan, Lewis-Skelly may be a typical midfielder, but behind the scenes Arteta is moulding him into an inverted left back, because his potential there could be world class. When you've got his level of physical tools, even at 17 able to go into 1v1 duels and win them, alongside the technical quality required to drift into midfield, progress the ball in a Zinchenko type fashion, this for me is his best pathway into the first team. With all the uncertainty around the future of Zinchenko, Lewis-Skelly offers Arsenal a similar profile, but with the added benefit of the extra physical quality. As Arteta says on the young players, I'm really pleased with them. Unfortunately, I wanted to give opportunities to all of them, but we didn't have enough time to do so. But for the ones that played, I think they performed and responded incredibly well. Something is definitely happening in terms of these Arsenal Academy players. Seeing them so involved in pre-season, Lewis-Skelly and Wanyeri could play a massive part this season. Moving on to Arsenal's newest agreement. Ricardo Calafiori might be here and Arsenal fans might have got one signing, but we never rest as a fan base. More signings are always demanded, and it looks like Arsenal are closing into another. Mikel Moreno of Real Sociedad, a midfield target that has become a priority for Mikel Arteta. Chased by both Barca and Atletico Madrid, he was a man in demand. As Fabrizio Romano says, both Barca and Atletico feel that Moreno is given total priority to Arsenal. So it was no surprise to then hear this. Reports in Spain confirming that Arsenal have reached an agreement on personal terms on a 4-year contract with Mikel Moreno, with the next step being to find an agreement with Real Sociedad. which if you go all the way back to August 2019 and a transfer regarding Nacho Monreal to Real Sociedad, it was reported at the time that Arsenal and Sociedad arranged a deal where the Spanish club would play no fee for Monreal, but in exchange Arsenal would get preferential options over a number of players of their choice. That's where we got the breaking news regarding Mikel Moreno. Fabrizio Romano confirmation that Arsenal are closing in on Mikel Moreno deal, as the verbal agreement is now getting closer. Agreement in place on personal terms as Moreno wants to move, with verbal discussions with Real Sociedad over the package in excess of 30 million euros. Talks are on to get the deal done. Then came Matteo Moretto Bomba. An agreement has been reached between Arsenal and Real Sociedad for Mikel Moreno. 30 million euros plus bonuses. The player will join Arsenal in the next few days. All the reports have claimed that this is a player being pushed by Mikel Arteta, a former teammate of Martin Odegaard, a Spanish international that won the Euros, scoring an important goal against Germany, winning a whopping 326 duels. Mikel Moreno was the highest in all of Europe, which is very important because of our press. Arsenal are a team that love to jump in their press, with Declan Rice last year as our number 8, a player comfortable at nicking the ball in the final third. In terms of counter-pressing, Arsenal alongside Man City were two of the highest teams in all of Europe. Mikel Moreno's elite ball-winning ability makes our press that much better, also comfortable receiving the ball between the lines. A left-footed number 8 to replace Granit Xhaka, alongside previous Premier League experience. When you add up all the parts of the deal, it helps Arsenal transform our left-hand side. With the arrival of Ricardo Calafiori and now Mikel Moreno, Gabriel Martinelli will finally have consistent partners, a platform to replicate 22-23, where we of course saw him score 15 league goals. It's not a blockbuster deal that won't get fans off their seats, but when you look into all the things that he adds to our team, and then look at the price tag of only 30 million euros, there's a very good chance that this could be a bargain. We've also got some more breaking news though, and this time comes from David Ornstein. An exclusive confirming that Marseille have improved the offer to sign Eddie Nketiah from Arsenal. A new bid nearing 20 million euros, similar to the previous one with the 4 million that Arsenal wants, likely to be deemed unrealistic but talks are ongoing. A 5-year contract is agreed and a 25-year-old is keen, with even former Arsenal striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang saying he's told Nketiah to go join Marseille. The real concern in the fanbase is the price tag. After all the quotes of 40 to 35 million pounds, reported teams in the Premier League after him, it seems like it's the player's personal desire to make the deal happen that is playing a massive part. As French reports confirm, Arsenal initially wanted 30 million euros. However, Marseille made it quickly known they wouldn't go that high. Moreover, the player is doing everything to make the deal happen. The deal can be done for 25 million euros plus a sell-on clause. We have to provide a little bit of context. How would Arsenal fans feel if we were to go out there and sign a third-choice striker that's never scored over 10 league goals for a price tag of 35 million pounds? The reality is that even at 25 years of age, Nketiah doesn't have a massive sample size. Never even a loan spell where he was a starter, on massive wages of over £100,000 a week. A move to Marseille now looks imminent, and he's not the only forward that's leaving Arsenal. As confirmed by Chido Obi Martin, his departure from Arsenal is official, thanking Arsenal for the services in a long message. He was wanted by Bayern and a host of top clubs, so where was he going to move next? Well, apparently to the Europa League. A Fabrizio Romano exclusive confirms Chido Obi Martin to Man United. Here we go. The talented striker leaves Arsenal and has just accepted Man United's proposal. The pathway for Chido is key, who's turned on Highbury from Germany to sign for Man United. Convinced by a project that already has Rasmus Højlund and has just signed Joshua Zirkzee, both strikers under the age of 23, something wasn't quite adding up. Then we got this report here. Arsenal offered 16-year-old Chido Obi Martin 15k a week in a professional contract, but Man United gladly doubled those wages to secure the player's signature. For Arsenal fans, I think the best thing we can do is move on and focus on what we have. Instead, focus on the likes of Miles and Ethan, players that despite having interest from other clubs, were happy to commit their futures to Arsenal instead. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today. Starting straight away with the update on Emile Smith Rowe and what is happening with his deal to Fulham. Whilst Fabrizio Romano confirms Fulham and Arsenal have all the documents in place that are set to be signed after a medical for Emile Smith Rowe, a total deal worth around £35 million. Then we got this video here. Emile Smith Rowe arriving in Fulham to get his medical sorted, pictured at the airport ready to fly to Portugal to join his Fulham teammates, indicating a medical had been passed. But what's the latest on the future of Reiss Nelson? After a very impressive tour with Arsenal, looking razor sharp in the USA tour, despite initially being wanted by West Ham, as Fabrizio confirms they have now signed Leeds' Cracisio Somerville, a here we go on a deal of £25 million. Then you had Leicester, another team with a reported interest, that a tier 1 source now confirms. It seems that Nelson's future does not lie at Leicester City. Initial talks were held with Arsenal over the winger, but sources at both clubs say the deal is not currently advancing, and that it is out of Leicester's price bracket. Right now Nelson is not close to moving anywhere. It all depends on what Arsenal have planned for themselves. Unless they have a wide forward signing in place, is it worth them letting Nelson go? Let's talk about Wolves' Pedro Neto, a reported long-term target for Mikel Arteta. The breaking quote comes from Gary O'Neill, the Wolves manager. If a huge offer comes in from a big club, no one will stand in Pedro's way. A manager confirming a player is available is very rare. And there's two ways to look at this. One, it's an opportunity for Arsenal to go and take advantage of. Two, it's a major red flag. Do Wolves know something that Arsenal don't? Is it regarding his long-term injury issues? I'm going to throw it to you guys down below in the comments. Let's have a little bit of a debate. If Arsenal are going to sign a forward this window, should it be a pacey wide forward or should it be a centre forward? Give me names down below in the comments. That is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social media, then the links are down below in the description. But that was the latest episode of the transfers of seeing. As we return to the UK after a tour of the USA, transfers are getting a little bit more interesting. Mikel Moreno, maybe we're going to get Here We Go, and then we're going to go for a forward. Until then, stay tuned and I'll see you next time. Take care. In a bit.